Hello and welcome to today's lecture. Today we're going to discuss about the business model canvas, which is a part of the digital business module. We start the lecture with a couple of questions, which has to do with the difference between an invention and an innovation, because sometimes it might not be that clear. There are many inventions, but far fewer innovations. An invention is a novel idea which we can take this idea and we can commercialize it in order to create a solid, for example, an engine or something else which can help us in order to make our business better or to improve people's lives. We have different types of innovation. We have the technology innovation, the process innovation, the product and service innovation, and of course, the business model innovation. Now we're going to say a couple of words about these types of innovations. In terms of process innovation, we have the implementation of a new or significantly improved production or delivery method. So we change the method that we, for example, manufacture a car. And this is something which makes the whole production even better and give us more and better results with by, for example, creating a car which is has less flaws and we can produce it even quicker. We have a technology innovation via which we have the creation of a new technology, which, for example, can give us a car which is fuel efficient, like the Prius of the model of Toyota, or it can give us a better processor, for example, for our PC, etc. We have the product and service innovation, which can give us a better way to transfer goods or to sell goods. We have business model innovation. It can be even more important than technology innovation. The business model innovation it has to do with finding and executing the right business model, which is something that can be the only or main reasons for the success. Why is that? Because by finding the right business model that suits best for what we want to achieve, for our goals in our business, is the cornerstone upon which we need to base our whole business. The wrong business model can lead us to failure. Here we have for an example of the Xerox, first plain paper photocopier in 1950, which was easy to use, had no risk on originals, had a low operating cost, and used plain paper. The thing with that was that it was too expensive to sell to customers. So another business model had to be created in terms of which is going to be the source of profits. So the company started to lease it, for example, for $25 per month, and selling 4 cents per copy, which created a minimum cost of $49 per month for the company that wanted to get into such a process. Here we have another example. We have here for example, Nescafé Dolce Gusto. We have a buyer, a customer might want to buy this coffee machine, but the thing is that the company is not aiming in gaining profits as much, mainly from selling coffee machines, which is its main target via its business model. The company wants to make profits by selling capsules, coffee capsules. Okay, so you get one time the coffee machine. It costs, I don't know, $60, $100, depends on the brand, but you have it and that's it. Okay, the thing is that each time you want to make a coffee, you need to have these capsules. So you go again and again and again and buy from the same company that sold you the coffee machine all these capsules. Okay, so the company gets profits mainly from the capsules and secondarily by the coffee machine. Now, why business models matter? According to John McGrath, who is the customer and what does the customer value? This is one question that we want to address. Here we're going to see many questions that we want to address in order to understand why our business models matter. How do we make money from the business? This is something that also needs to be depicted in our business model. How can we deliver value to the customer at an appropriate cost? Also, the same, need to be part of our business model. We have to write a new story, a better way than existing alternatives, making the number add up and tweaking on the fly based on feedback. Business model warfare, according to Langdon Morris. Business mortality is high. Okay. Many businesses, especially nowadays with this volatile and globalized markets, dying. Okay, so we need to sustain our business, and in order to do that, we need a very strong, a very powerful business model. Technology innovation by itself has rarely been sufficient to ensure the future of our business. Similar products and services, advantages resulting from a successful business model are fleeting. Models need to be continually reviewed and updated when necessary. As many things in business models are not stagnant. Things change rapidly in the societies in where we live, in the markets in which our companies operate. So business models also need to be flexible enough, and we need to revise them as things change around us. Okay, we do not need to have stagnant business models, which in fact, they can be seen as just a screenshot of a specific area in time for our business. We don't want that. We want something vivid, something that can be changed, something that needs to be revised as things change rapidly around us. Now we can see the cycle of a business model. We can see the organization, the product or service creates a product and service and delivers it to the customer. The customer gets it, we get the revenue, and this is how things work. How business model emerges. We have the raw material, the value chain, primary and secondary activities plus margin, and the end product and service. The value chain is the string of activities that moves a product from the raw material stage through manufacturing and distribution and ultimately to the end user. Okay, so you can say just in a couple of words that value chain is what gives to a raw material its final form as a product or service to the end customer, and in other words, what adds value to the raw material in order this value to get to the customer, and the customer then gets value. So this is something that is very important, because adding value to our customers is what gives us the competitive advantage in order to be antagonistic in the market. Primary activities are directly concerned with the creation or delivery of a product or service. Support activities help to improve the effectiveness or efficiency of primary activities. So we have these two distinct categories of activities, the primary and the supportive one. We can see them here in this figure. We have as support activities the infrastructure, the human resource management, technology development, and procurement, while primary activities are the inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and of course, the service to our customers. All these are giving us the margin, and which is our profit in terms of the product that we create and we sell to our customers. Now, about the value chain, a couple of words again. Entrepreneurs look at the value chain of a product or a service to pinpoint where the value chain can be made more effective or to spot where additional value can be added. So the whole value chain, which, as we said, takes the product from raw material to the final product and gives value to the customer, there is something that needs to be monitored in order to pinpoint when we have issues, in order to amend or solve them. What is a business model? The business model is a strategic plan to be implemented through organizational structures, processes, and systems in order to meet customer needs. Okay, so what do we have here? We have in the epicenter of our business our customer-centric approach, which wants to address our customers' needs in an effective and efficient way. So via our business model, we create a strategic plan which we want to implement throughout our organization in order to reach and fulfill our customers' needs. A simple business model is valued upon these 4 steps. We have the value proposition, the revenue model, the production model, and the delivery model. We have 3 sub-models inside the simple business model. Now, which are the forces which affect our business model? Of course, the customer's needs, as we said, since we have a customer-centric approach, and we need to have this customer-centric approach in our business. Competition is fierce, and we need to take it under consideration. So we might want, for example, to do something like a SWOT analysis in order to pinpoint the strengths and the weaknesses of our competitors, or a competitors analysis. Even, of course, technological change, social change, and legal environment. So a pestel analysis, for example, might be very suitable for this occasion, and is going to give us an understanding of all the forces that affect our business model. Here we have the prior scar about which we had a brief discussion in just a few slides before. And we can see how the new technology that arises from cars can have an impact in insurers, in technology of the companies, in infrastructure, in healthcare providers, and of course in business model change. This is just an example. We can see this kind of impact in different technologies across industries. The basic business model map. In the core of it, we have the value that we want to create and deliver it to our customers. We have the product system ecosystem, the customer's ecosystem, and of course the finance. Now there are different types of business model maps. Okay, here we can see the business model canvas, which comprises of 9 segments: the key partnerships, the key activities, the key resources, the key propositions, the key relationships, the channels, the customer segments, the cost structure, and the revenue streams. The 9 building blocks, these 9 different parts of the canvas. For the business model canvas, which we just said are the customer segments, the value proposition, the channels, the customer relationships, the revenue streams, the key resource, the key activities, the key partnerships, and of course the cost structure. Now we're going to say a couple of words about each one of these segments. The first one is the customer segment. In the customer segment, we have to address specific questions and specific things. For example, for whom are we creating value? Which is our customer, our buyer's persona? So we need to have the characteristics of our customer. For example, we want to be males in the age of 20 until 25, living in the area of Boston, and I don't know of medium income, etc. Okay, so we need to profile. For whom are we creating value? Who are our most important customers? Okay, we need to segment even more our customers in order to find out which are the most important of them. Customer segments: mass market, niche market, segmented, related customer segments, frequent flyer program, bank customers with big assets, diversified and unrelated customer segments like Amazon, multi-sided, free newspaper readers, and advertisers. Okay, we can see that we can have different segmentation in terms of our customers, and this segmentation helps us to address specific value via specific products to them. We need to find customer I. Why? Who is your customer? Grave, school, hospital, apotheke, free newspaper. Can everybody be your customer? Not, of course. People who want to buy a flat, anyone needs a job, everyone who goes to university. So we need, as we said, to create our buyer's persona, our customer persona, in order to understand for whom we want to create value. Why this is important? Because in that way, we can customize our products in order to address specific customers' needs. We said that we need to focus on a customer-centric approach for our business, and this is what the customer-centric approach is, to find out our specific customer segment, which specific needs has, and to address these needs. Okay, in that way, we are going to have happy customers. If we're going to address specific product to all our customers, we're going to fail because not all our customers have the same needs. We need to be very specific with that. Find the customer too. Find the customer for solving a pain. Use the customer profile or persona, as we said. Describe who is making purchasing decision. Decision making, for example, if you are addressing a product to a family, you're addressing a product to kids, you know that the purchasing decision is going to be made by the parents. Okay, it's not the kid to decide. So, for example, if you want to advertise your product, you need to advertise it in a segment zone where, of course, kids are in front of the television, for example, but also parents should be there because they need to take a look at the advertisements by themselves and be persuaded by it that it is the best thing to buy for their kids. IT, operations, group management, make sure they are happy. Market is important, but do not only think market. Billion-dollar market does not start in a few minutes. So what also says here is that you need to be patient. You need to be able to start from scratch, to go upwards, not rapidly, because usually what goes up very quickly goes down also very quickly. So you need to make careful steps and to have solid background in order to support your final product and reach your customers. Questions for customer? Identifiable, what distinguishes them? How we can identify our customers and what distinguishes them between the different segments? Measurable, how many belong to your target segment? Okay, we need to measure that. Reachable, how to reach, communicate with each segment. Willing, do they want it? Able, they want to buy it. Can they afford it? So these are critical questions. We need to be able to measure how many belong to our market segment, which is very important because, you know, each market has a ceiling. Okay, you cannot, if you have 1,000 people and you sell cars, that your selling might be 2 cars per person. Okay, 2,000 cars, that's it. You cannot sell 10,000 cars for this market. Okay, so you need to be able to understand how many belong to your target market to know the market potential. Also, how to identify them, that they are your customers or they are not. How to reach them, because everything has to do with communication. You need to market your things to them. We need to create your marketing campaign, your marketing strategy, in order to communicate your products to them. And of course, in which part of the sales funnel they are. Are they willing to buy? Are they prospects? Are they potential customers? Are they ready to buy, or you want to convince them, etc.? And of course, if they are able, if they can afford to buy it, because they might have the will to buy something, but they cannot afford it. So as we said from the beginning, one of the very important things when you create your buyers, your customers persona, is to pinpoint which is exactly your customers, apart from all the other things, the area in which they live, their age maybe, their gender, all these things. You also need to be able to pinpoint also their, for example, income, in order to see if your product is affordable for them. So if you sell, for example, an expensive car, for example, I don't know, Mercedes or something, or a Porsche, or I don't know, a Ferrari or something, then you cannot address your marketing campaign to people with lower income. Okay, you are going to fail. Questions for customers according to in terms of macro leveling. We have the population size. How large is the market in which our customers live? Population character. Do we have old ones, younger ones? For example, if we are selling insurance policies, we cannot address them to people who are, for example, over 60 or over 70. People at that age usually do not buy insurance policies. They buy them people who have families that are at their 20s, 30s, or 40s. Disposable income levels, again, the same. For example, if we are addressing a product which is very expensive to a country where the minimum, the average salary is, I don't know, something like $1,000 per year, this is, we're going to fail. Educational background, how they can perceive our advertisement. We need to address our message and reach our products to them via our message, via our marketing message, for example. So we need to be able to commensurate our message to their educational background. Primary languages. We cannot sell something in English when nobody speaks English in this area. Infrastructure. Is it possible to create, for example, a logistic channel in this country? There is no infrastructure in this country. How we can use them a way to disseminate our products? Regulations, local regulations are things that are very important for our company, or political affiliation, all this kind of stuff, because they can create us many obstacles, for example, in order to enter the country, or for example, a heavy taxation may discourage us for entering into this market. Keep in mind, we have here paradox. Customer is important, but you cannot give all they want. Learn to say no, learn to focus, learn to change and adapt. They may not know what they want. Buying process is mysterious. Okay, sometimes we have this kind of paradox in sales. Why is that? Because sometimes people do not know that they want something. Okay, they can understand. Customers, they might be able to understand that they have a need, but they cannot sometimes express this need. So which is your job here? Your job here is to give them a novel product, to innovate and to commercialize your invention, as we discussed, in order to give them something new that you understand that they want, but cannot express it. Why is that? Because in the market, nobody offers them this kind of stuff, this kind of thing. So you come to close a gap in the market, and in order to do that, you need to ask your customers. Okay, they do not know what they want, but via question and answering, you can find out the real answer, what they have in the back of their heads, and give it to them. Now, value proposition. Value proposition is very important, a bundle that meets a customer's needs or solve his or her problem. So it is our proposition to them, take this product and you're going to solve your problem. So what do we do in that way? We add value to them. And this is very important because in that way we create loyal customers and we increase our customer retention. Benefits can be tangible and intangible. Reasons why customers pick one business or another. can be innovative, new disruptive offer, similar to existing offers, but just added feature or attribute in some sort of way. So you can add value to customers via different routes. For example, you can give them something disruptive or something innovative, or you just can add something to an existing product which already had added value to them, but you can modify that a bit and add value to them in a different way. Some elements that may add to value are newness, customization, getting job done, support, price, of course, design, status and brand, accessibility, risk deduction, and usability. Now, value proposition, questions to answer. What pain do we solve for customer? What do we deliver for customer? What value do we develop for customer? Which need of customer do we satisfy? If we are able to answer all these questions, then we can create a very strong value proposition to give to our customers and make them very happy. Now, in terms of channels, we have the value proposition. Okay, we created an amazing product which addresses all these questions that we saw here. And now we have our value proposition in our hands. And we want to give this value proposition to our customers. We have to create awareness of products and services, evaluation of value proposition, purchase, delivery after sales, direct brick and mortar stores, web sales, sales force, and indirect wholesale partner stores. So we can see that we have our value proposition, but nobody knows it. Okay, so what should we do? We need to create an awareness about our value proposition via different channels. Okay, for example, another very good channel is marketing. Okay, so via marketing and marketing message, we can give to our customers to understand which is our value proposition. Also, important things that we need to add in our value proposition are purchase, delivery, and after sales. After sales are critical because people tend to buy from companies which are giving very good after sales. And of course, delivery, if you are, for example, willing to absorb the cost of delivery, this is going to gain you more customers. How do you sell your value proposition SaaS product to your customers? Via brick and mortar stores, web sales, or Salesforce. And of course, this is a direct way. And then we have the indirect way when you use wholesalers or partner stores. Okay, partner stores, which among their products, they offer also your product. All wholesalers who are selling them to retailers and then to the end customers. And of course, all this need to be addressed to the right customer segment as we discussed. Channels, questions. Through which channel do our customer segments want to be reached? How are we reaching them now? How are our channels integrated? Which one works best? Which one are most cost efficient? So we need another very important thing is, since we know our channels, we have specific channels via which we are selling our products and we give our value proposition to our customers, we need to pinpoint any problems that these channels have. For example, how are we reaching them now? Are we reaching them in an efficient way? Do we need something to change? How are channels integrated? They are not integrated. Are we going to integrate them? Is this something that is cost effective for us? Can you afford it? Is it something that is going to give us on the long or on the short run? On the short run depends on our goals, the results that we are seeking for. All these questions are very, very important questions that we need to address. Now, in terms of customer relations, okay, we have our value proposition again, and we need to address it to our customer segment. We have our customer acquisition, customer retention, and boosting sales by upselling. Okay, so these are customer acquisition, customer retention, boosting sales, upselling are very important parts of the relationships that we have with our customers. Now, example of customer service. Can you give some example companies? Okay, we can give some example companies. We have dedicated personal assistance. We have self-service. We have community, co-creation, and automated. Now, about dedicated personal assistance. This is a kind of relationship which involves dedicating a customer representative specifically to an individual client. It represents the deepest and most intimate type of relationship and normally develops over a long period of time. In private banking services, for example, dedicated bankers serve high net worth customers. Similar relationships can be found in other businesses in the form of key account managers who maintain personal relationships with important customers. This is something that we can find in almost every business. Of course, we have the self-service. In this type of relationship, a company maintains no direct relationship with the customers, it provides them the necessary means for customers to help themselves. Yes, okay, you can say we have many examples of self-services. We know many stores that are offering self-services, for example, chains that serve coffee on a self-service basis, and this is something that is depicted in the price, which is lower, for example, etc. We have, of course, the automated services. This type of relationship mixes a more sophisticated form of customer self-service with automated processes. For example, personal online profiles give customers access to customized services. Automated services can recognize individual customers and their characteristics and offer information related to orders or transactions. At their best, automated services can stimulate a personal relationship, for example, offering a book, for example, or a movie, a recommendation, etc. Okay, maybe these are the most important. Co-creation, maybe for more companies are going beyond the traditional customer-vendor relationship to co-create value with customers. Amazon.com invites customers to write reviews and thus create value for other book lovers. So in that way, Amazon engages customers in another way of creating value to existing customers. Some companies engage customers to assist with the design of new and innovative products, while others, such as YouTube, solicit customers to create content for public consumption. Okay, these are the most important parts of it. Now, in terms of customer relationships, things that we want to answer again in terms of questions is what type of relationship does each of our customer segments expect us to establish and maintain with them? Which ones have we established? How costly are they? How are they integrated with the rest of our business model? Okay, these are key questions that we want to address in terms of the relationship that we want to have with our customers. Now, in terms of the revenue streams, for what value are our customers really willing to pay? The questions that we have in here are questions that are going to determine which we want and need in terms to fulfill our business plan and need to be our revenue streams. One-time or recurring customers, for what do they currently pay? We saw the example with the coffee machine and the capsules. They are paying for the capsules or they are paying for the coffee machine. How are they currently paying? They're paying with credit cards, they're paying with cash, I don't know, online, via brick and mortar store, you name it. How would they prefer to pay? So one thing is that we offer to our customers some options in terms of paying. And another thing is if they like these options. Okay, so a very good thing here, which is the same for everything that we do in business, is to ask our customers what they really want, how they really want to pay. So we can create, for example, a poll and asking to them, which is your favorite way of paying online? Is it via credit card, via PayPal, via some kind of wallet, digital wallet, or I don't know, via bank transfer, etc. How much does each revenue stream contribute to the overall revenues? Okay, so this is very important because in that way, if we find out, for example, that one revenue stream is having 70% of contribution to overall revenues, we might need to focus more on this revenue stream. Now, in terms of the revenue streams, we have our value proposition again, via some specific channels that we discussed. We are addressing it to our customer segment. We have the dynamic pricing, and we have also the fixed price. Okay. We have asset sale, usage fee, use more, pay more subscription, monthly, yearly, leasing, lending, renting, licensing, patents, license fee, brokerage fee, advertising. Fixed price is a price like, for example, salaries are a fixed price. Okay, so it's prices that do not change over time, while it's a price set for a good or a service that it is not subject to bargaining anyway. Okay, this is why salary is a very good example. On the other hand, we have the dynamic pricing, which is price which changes over time according to a situation that we face in the market. Now we have the revenue streams. We said that we have the dynamic pricing and the fixed price. In terms of dynamic pricing, we have yield management, hotels and airlines. Prices are changed there according to the demand, for example, real-time market, supply and demand, auctions price, and negotiation. It involves a lot of negotiation. Fixed price, as we said, it is a list price, product feature dependent, customer segment dependent, and volume dependent. Now about the key resources. It's on the 6th upon the 9 key elements of our business canvas. We have physical, financial, intellectual, and human resources, which are all our supplementary functions which help us to create our value proposition. Key resources can be owned or leased by the company or acquired from our key partners. Key resources. In terms of key resources, we need to address specific questions. What key resources do our value proposition require? Our distribution channels, which are customer relationships, which are revenue streams, which are what physical resources, intellectual, human, financial resources do we have? Because you know sometimes we have two approaches. Some businesses think that they have specific amount of resources and they base their business plan and their value proposition upon them, so they try to commensurate their operations on the resources. While other businesses do exactly the opposite, they increase or reduce the resources according to the plans that they have, to the value proposition they want to offer, to the mission and the vision of the company. In terms of key activities, what key activities do our value proposition require? Which are our distribution channels? Again, we see that the distribution channels are very important for our company in many terms. Which are our customer relationships? Again, since we have a customer-focused, a customer-centric approach in our business, customer relationships are valued a lot and are a key element of our business. Which are our revenue streams? Again, this is something that we address in our business plan anyway. Productions, okay, we have Microsoft as an example, network platform, Facebook, eBay, Visa, etc. Key partnerships. Partnerships are also very essential. Why to partner with someone? For example, we can have a reducing of cost, reduction of risk and uncertainty, because, for example, the other company with which we're creating this partnership might be a very powerful company in our market, and by creating a partnership with this company, we avoid a conflict with this company, and we can increase our chances for sustainability and decreasing our risk. Acquisition of particular resources and activities, Nokia, Windows, HTC phones, etc. These are examples of acquisition of particular resources and activities. Some companies buy other companies in order to embed their operations in theirs. Strategic alliances between non-competitors. Okay, this is something that might happen in the business. Competition, strategic partnerships between competitors. Sometimes even competitors can create strategic partnerships. Joint ventures to develop new businesses with companies that have specific segments of production which the other company does not have, and in combination they can create new businesses, they can develop them, or they can innovate. Buyer-supplier relationships to assure reliable supplies, which is very crucial because, as we said, we have a customer-centric approach. In terms of key partnerships, again, we need to answer ourselves, who are our key partners? Who are our key suppliers? Which key resources are we acquiring from partners? Which key activities do partners perform? Okay. Now, before ending with the key partnerships part, we need just to have a parenthesis, which is very important, I think. When we have a partnership, we need to have specific contract terms between the companies which are going into partnership, because data may be manipulated from one company against the other, or we might have some specific, for example, a very good example is about a secret recipe that might the one company get from the other. So we need to be very specific, because it is a probability that we might have people getting from one company to another for training or for exchanging of human resources, or in order to help them understand how the production goes on in one company, in order to pinpoint some differences between their production and our production, and to compare them in order to create a more productive system for both the companies. All these things has to do with information, sensitive information, that need to written down on how it will be manipulated, how it will be needed to, how it needed to be handled, and they need to be part of the contract that we're going to sign with our partners. So partnerships might evolve problems, and we need to foresee these problems and pinpoint them and put them down in written on our contract. Entering the parentheses. So now we have the cost structure. We have business model cost structures. We have the cost-driven, which has to do with minimizing costs wherever possible. And we have the value-driven, premium value propositions and the high degree of personalized service. Okay, so we have two different cost structures in terms of the business model. We have cost structure characteristics. We have the fixed costs, minimizing costs wherever possible. We have the variable costs, premium value propositions and the high degree of personalized service, things costs that change. Economies of scale, average cost per unit to fall as output rises the same distribution. And we have the economy of scope, channels for different products and services may support multiple products. In terms of economy of scopes, we need to have to say that it's an economy in which the production of one good reduces the cost of producing another related good. Economies of scope occur when producing a wider variety of goods or services in tandem is more cost effective for a firm than producing less of a variety or producing its good independence. So this kind of economies has to do with goods or services that when we combine them in our production, they are more cost effective, while the economies of scale has to do with expanding our business in such a way that it might be even a monopoly. And that way it reduces the unit cost. And a very good example of that is franchising. Now the cost structure, what are the most important costs inherent in our business model? Which key resources are most expensive? Which key activities are most expensive? These are things that the questions that we need to answer in terms of the structure that we want to follow in our costs. Here we have, we saw the 9 business model building blocks. We discussed them, and we have via which we have the creation of a handy tool, which we call the business model canvas. Now, this is how the business model canvas is. We saw that in the first place. And this tool resembles a painter canvas performated with the 9 blocks that we discussed, which allows you to paint pictures of new or existing business models. Okay, so we put there some sticky notes, for example, writing some things that we want to do or to change, etc. And upon them, we're basing our business model. The business model canvas works best when printed out on a large surface, so groups of people can jointly start sketching and discussing business model elements. With post-it notes on board markets, it is a hands-on tool that fosters understanding of what's going on in our business and how we can depict what we want to do with our business via a business model. Okay, so it is a tool for creation of our business model based on all the activities that we saw, the 9 blocks that we discussed now. Here we have it again, the key partnerships, the key activities, the key resources, the key propositions, key relationships, channels, customer segments, revenue streams, and cost structure that we discussed. Which is the problems with this canvas? Things like team, social value, environmental costs, etc., are not discussed. Okay, although these are very important elements that we need to put in our business model, especially nowadays, since we want to have, for example, an environmental presence, a friendly environmental business model. This has to do with some kind of costs. Of course, it involves costs. So this is something that needs to be depicted in our business model, and it is not on the canvas. Okay, here again, we can see the business canvas. We can see here how different parts of the business blocks that are depicted in the business canvas are communicate. The key partnerships, for example, can have affection in our channels because we can create a key partnership with a company which uses a different channel, which might be more handy for us. Also, the value proposition has to do with our cost structure, as we already discussed. And of course, the value proposition has to do with our customer relationships. Okay. What about the strategic mission? The customer segment are a hypothesis for startups, fits to a new and existing business, but does it work in startups? Metrics, competition, organizational structure, unfair advantage over competitors. These are questions that we need to answer when we're using this business model tool. Okay, because some of them might not be addressed properly. So here we have an example. We see what businesses are we in, our business model. We have the value architecture, the offer, what is our offering, what do we offer, which is our offer, which is our product. The value chain, what are our value creating steps? What is our value chain? Activity 1, activity 2, activity 3, our customer activity, which goes to this part with the value proposition to customers and the customer benefits. The core capabilities, what are the core capabilities we need? Partner, which partners do we need? And the distribution architecture, what do we reach out? How do we reach out our customers? How do we communicate with our customers? Okay, both communication and reach, how do we distribute our products? The revenue model, cost structure. Cost structure is defined by the value architecture. The sources of revenue, with what do we earn money, okay, which is very important. The culture and values, leadership style, what leadership style do we have, the relationship style, how do we interact with each other and the customer, and the values, what values do we pursue. Okay, all these things need to be part of our business model. And here we see business canvas. For example, it's from Spotify. We have the company's key partners, labels, aggregator, for example, Merlin Network, Facebook, etc. Key activities, keep technology up and running, adding more music, label, etc. All these things. And we see here some sticky notes, customer segment. We have the listeners, the advertisers. Here we have automated service, self-service, community, etc. In terms of legal music for free or minimum payment for a value proposition, be social when you listen. Music based on mood. We see all these 9 blocks that we discuss, how they put sticky notes upon them in order to pinpoint changes that might be needed in order to create a business, a better, a more flexible, or a more efficient business model. Okay, the Spotify developer created a business model, a business canvas in order to change the business model of the company in terms of this specific developer. So we see also again the sticky notes. Here we have the Facebook canvas, the same thing. Key partners, content partners, TV shows, movies, music, new articles, etc. Key activities, platform development, data center operations. Each time we find something new or an interesting idea or an innovation that we want to put in our business model, we put it here in the canvas, and then we discuss it with the team that we have in order to find out if it is something feasible, if by adding this in our business model, or if by changing in that way our business model, we can increase its efficiency. Here we can see the iTunes canvas, the Twitter canvas. And of course, we have the Mark Johnson 4-box business model, which is a model, as the term indicates, based upon 4 boxes, is the customer value proposition, the profit formula, the key resources, and the key processes. Key resources and key processes, you see that are interconnected because key resources are the ones that operate the key processes, they're used in the key processes. They create value proposition, and all these things are ending up to our profit formula, and which brings profit to our company. And this is a cycle which goes on again and again. So what's beyond the canvas that we saw with the 9 building blocks? You need to validate your model assumptions with the customers until you get it right. And of course, on the bottom of everything is our business plan. We need to have a business plan. You see here a basic business plan. We have the executive summary in the beginning, the team, profiles of leadership team, why we are a winning team, the business model, which is our business model, includes vision, mission, values, how our business model works, the value proposition, the target markets, the marketing plan, the key resources and activities. We have the financial analysis, break-even analysis, which is a kind of financial analysis, sales scenarios and projections, capital spending, operating costs, funding requirements. We have the external environment, the economy, market analysis and key trends, competitor analysis, competitive advantage of model, etc. All these things. So we can see here we have the financial spreadsheet, we have the environment analysis, the implementation roadmap, and the SWOT and uncertainty analysis. And here it is the canvas. Via canvas, we take all this information and we put it in a business plan. Okay. So this is how it works. The business plan are very important for all businesses, especially we can find them, for example, in startups. Why? Because startups are sitting for this angels to invest in their company. So in order these people to be able to invest in their company, they need to have a detailed business plan in order to understand which is the perspectives of this specific startup, for example. Okay. Also, we have to, before starting our business, it's very important to have a business plan in place, because this is going to be the roadmap. This is going to be the blueprint upon which we're going to base everything in terms of our business. How we make profit, how to reach our customers, which are our product, which is our value proposition, all these things that we discuss throughout this lecture. So this concludes today's lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. So see you in the next lecture. Thank you very much.